Good morning, friends. Today we will think about how to develop subject knowledge. Friends, regarding any kind of group discussion, whether it is for job, whether it is for aptitude testing, whether it is for any other kind of testing, whatever the purpose may be or whatever the objective may be, we have to participate in the group discussion wholeheartedly because your involvement, your participation, your active participation is counted in the group discussion. And that is why we should understand that whenever we are thinking about group discussion, we have to understand that in which way we have to participate in the group discussion. Now, let us turn on to the very important aspect, that is how to develop the subject knowledge. Suppose in a group discussion, you have given the topic, that is reservation policy for women. If this kind of topic is given to you at that time, how can you collect the data, or how can you get the knowledge, how can you get the information regarding that particular topic? This is a very big question in front of every participant. For that matter, your reading must be very much vast. Earlier to that particular topic discussion, you should have read various books on the topic concerned, or you should have read some of the articles in the newspaper concerning to that particular topic. It means that you should have a strong knowledge of particular topic. Then and then only you can present your idea or thought on that particular subject. And hence, whenever you are supposed to participate in the group discussion, you should have your own idea, your own thought, because your idea and thought is totally dependent upon whatever you have read up till now, whatever you have grasped on that particular topic or on that particular issue. That is a very important aspect. Now let us think about a very important aspect, that how to develop the subject knowledge. There are many sources in the present world. There are many sources to grab the or develop the subject knowledge. The first important source is the book. It means that in the library there are variety of books. We should understand that on which particular topic we have to read the books. What is my area of specialization? On which particular topic in future I should be able to discuss, or I should be able to participate in the discussion. So actually you have to decide about your area, about your specialization, about your main subject, and then you have to read accordingly in that particular direction. In English, there is a proverb that you should have you should have a knowledge of everything about something and something about everything. It means that regarding a particular subject you should have the deep knowledge. It means that everything about something means you should select a subject and you go on reading, you grasp lot of content, lot of material on that particular topic, and in that subject your expertise will be accepted. Later on I told that you should know something about everything. Means there are many sectors of life. For example, health is there, medicine is there, then ayurveda is there, then social life is there, political life is there, economic life is there. So there are different and variety of sectors which are related to the human life, and you should know something about these areas also, because a person who is very much expert in a particular aspect, in a particular subject, but he is not knowing something about other disciplines or other sectors, he is also not given the proper respect or not given the proper status in the society. Hence I would like to suggest all the students that they should know something about everything. So your reading must be done in that particular way. Now, another source, great source of the knowledge is the lecture. Means we should listen the lectures of eminent personalities, very good academicians. We should listen to the professors and uh, very great teachers who are always delivering their great thoughts, their great ideas to the society on various occasions. But we are not paying proper attention to these particular topics and these particular lectures. In our class also, the teacher is always giving lot of content, lot of knowledge, lot of information to the students, but the students are not paying that much attention what the teacher is delivering to them. And hence these lectures, if attended properly, without bunking the lectures, if these lectures are attended properly, then the students might get the great source of knowledge or information. It is also said in English that a best listener can be the best speaker. Friends, it means that if you are listening very carefully, very cautiously, at that time you can produce the same kind of content. Even you can add your own knowledge in that particular content, and you can produce it very effectively in front of other people. Hence my suggestion to you is that listen number of lectures. And nowadays in the 21st century we have a great source of knowledge, that is of lectures on YouTube. There are many eminent speakers, there are many eminent philosophers, teachers, mentors who are available on YouTube, and their knowledge we can grasp on the large scale, and that is also the great source of the development of the subject knowledge. Then there is the third important way to develop the subject knowledge, that is interaction with experts. Friends, it is said that a man is known by the company he keeps. It means that a person can be identified, can be known to the world with whom or she is living. It means that if you have a good company of great people, then you are also treated as a great person, because you are living in the company of great people. And hence you should interact with experts and eminent people, because their knowledge, their skills can be percolated in your personality also. You can grasp, you can imitate those people, and you can develop your personality accordingly. And hence I would like to suggest all the students that if you want to enhance your knowledge, if you want to enhance your information database, you should interact with the experts in that particular area. Then the fourth source of the development of subject knowledge is newspapers and journals. Nowadays on cell phones or Android phones we can get the e-newspapers. So it is a very easily available thing on the phones also. We can get the newspapers on our cell phone, we can go through it, we can draw the notes on that particular newspapers, we can take the note of important aspects presented in the newspaper, and we can note it down in our daily notebook. That is possible if you do it, or if you undertake that task in a proper way. Journals are also a great source of the knowledge. In our library there are a number of national and international journals, number of scientific journals are there, number of journals which are there showing the content of different areas, different subjects, and many other things. So we have to refer the journals which will supply us, which will give us a large kind of database for our development. Then the next source of the subject knowledge is the television. Nowadays television is considered as the fourth pillar of the democracy. It means that through television we get lot of information what is happening in the world, what is happening beyond the borders of our nation. We can understand it very easily, and that is why television is also an important source of getting the information. What is happening in the outside states also, what is happening in outside the districts also, we can get the instant or immediate information on our television. And nowadays there are different news channels which are 20 by which are delivering the news for 24 by 7 in our on our television. The another important source which is very much handy in our pockets, that is mobile. Through mobile we can get lot of information, and with very fast speed because nowadays the Android phones are supported with internet. Android phones are supported with many other softwares and many other facilities through which we can grab the knowledge. It is a open source to get the knowledge, and one has to use it very effectively. But nowadays the young generation, or the generation which is learning in the colleges, they are not using that mobile phone in a proper way. Nowadays it is also found that internet is, which is also connected with the mobile, is also a great source of knowledge, friends. So in this way we have to think about, whenever you are supposed to participate in the group discussion, you should have different sources at your hand to get the information, to get the knowledge. Means prior to that, before going to participate in the group discussion, you should have gone through these sources to gather the information or to gather the knowledge. And hence I would like to suggest all my friends to use these sources and get your knowledge enhanced or updated, with which you can participate in the group discussion very effectively. See, if you have some references from the books, you can quote the name of the book as well as the name of the author who has written that particular book, as well as you can also give the reference of the topic in which that particular reference is given. It means that you can be benefited in the group discussion with the help of books in this particular manner. For example, if you want to if you want to share some kind of information from a lecture given by an eminent person, you can also give the date of that particular lecture given by the resource person, or you can give the reference of that YouTube lecture you have gone through, or you can refer that particular occasion on which the lecture was delivered. So there are many ways, there are different ways to give the references in the group discussion, and these are all accepted ways to give the reference in the group discussion. Hence I would like to suggest you that this is a proper way to grab the knowledge, and we have to participate in the group discussion with a thorough knowledge about a particular subject. Now let us turn on to a very important aspect, that is clarity of thought and expression. Friends, can you watch the picture? In that picture, a lady is showing something on the whiteboard. See, if you are presenting some content in front of some listeners, at that time you should have the proper knowledge about a particular topic. If you have the perfect knowledge regarding the topic, then and then only you can present the content very effectively or very powerfully in front of all the listeners. And that is why there should be a clarity of thought as well as expression. Now let us think about the very first important point, that is sound audible but not so loud. Friends, if you are presenting your content in a small room of 12 by 12, so your sound, your voice must not be much larger. It must not be much larger, because your audience is in a very small space. They can listen your casual voice, they can listen your casual sound, with which you can present your content, you can send your content very successfully. And hence your voice modulations as well as your sound quality must be casual one, simple one, or normal one. At the same time, I would like to tell you that you should have cheerful and polite sound. So there must be some kind of enthusiasm in your presentation. See, always a cheerful person is accepted by the listener, and hence you should be very much fresh. Usually you must be very much enthusiastic to present the content, because if the content is presented in a positive manner, in a very cheerful manner, then the content is received by the listeners end in a very positive way, and it could have a very effective or positive impact on the listener's mind, and they will act accordingly. And for that matter, there should be a cheerful voice as well as cheerful sound in front of the listener. At the same time, your language must be very much polite. Friends, politeness principle is very important in everyone's life because if you are polite, your all thoughts will be heard and listened by the listeners and they will act accordingly. But if arrogance expresses in your sound, then they will not accept your thought and ideas. And hence, I would like to request you to make your voice very much polite and very much silent and modest. With these words, I would like to conclude today's session. Thank you very much.